All right. Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday, November the 12th, day after Veterans Day. Of course, the thumbnail that's on this video is from last night from a game that we'll talk about later on. But yeah, thank you so much to all who have served and make the lives that we have possible. Um, Deeply appreciated. All right, so let's talk about what happened in the Fed last night. And yeah, partially based on some of the action from last night, um, we have 5 stars ready to announce. That'll be posted to a video tomorrow, as well as looking at the updated standings, um, which I don't like how the Fed did their revamped standings, but nonetheless. Okay, last night we started off in Elmira, the Danbury Hat Tricks taking on the Elmira River Sharks, and a crowd of 1780. It's one of the better crowds this year for Elmira, so that was good to see. Danbury travels in, and it's a back and forth affair, but Danbury takes the 3 points in a meeting of Empire Division rivals. It's a 6-5 victory for the Hat Tricks. And like I said, this game really went back and forth. We started off with Luke Richards scoring 8 minutes in. Jacob Ratcliffe answered for the Hat Tricks 4 minutes later. And then Elmira seemed to take control of the game. 15:48, power play goal by Houston Wilson. And then 8:22 into the second period, Stavros Soilis scores, and it's 3-1 Elmira. And I'm thinking, oh, Connor McComb's having kind of an off day again, which is kind of weird. But things would turn around. Jacob Radcliffe scores his second just not long after Soilis had scored. And then Bogdan Zinchenko, he gets his first of the day. Yeah, you see, I've got the little top hat up there, meaning. All right, so third period, Zinchenko scores again. Houston, at this point, Danbury's up now 4-3. Elmira comes back and ties it. Houston Wilson scores again. Zinchenko scores a short-handed goal. Now it's 5-4. Soilis scores again. It's tied up. 11-14. Kyle Gonzalez, he puts it away with the game-winning goal, and it is a 6-5 victory for the Hat Tricks. So in this game, defense a little rough, but I'll tell you this: Elmira held Danbury to a relatively low amount of shots, but they were quality shots, and so they took advantage of that and put the puck in the net when they needed to. So yeah, McCollum stops 35 of 40 to earn the win, and his save percentage goes down a little bit, but that's okay. It's still more than respectable. Danik Rodriguez, this is his first start of the year, as Spencer Keselowski had started all the games before for Elmira to this point. Rodriguez, 19-25. Again, a couple of shots he had no chance on. The Danbury really maximized their opportunities. And so, with the win, Danbury moves up a little bit in the standings, 4-5-0 now. That's 11 points. Third in the Empire. And Elmira falls to 3-3 for 7 points, fourth in the Empire. So quite a game. Soilis and Houston Wilson both with 2 goals. Ratcliffe had himself a very nice game, as well as Zinchenko. All right, so then we go to Mississippi. And Blue Ridge. And no, I did not make a mistake on the board. If you missed it, wow. 12-5. Yep, 12. And, well, you know, Joe Pace gave the fans what they've been asking for. Fans have been asking to see Travis Ridgen in goal for an entire game. And he played the entire game. Now, on his behalf, or in his defense, 61 shots on goal for Blue Ridge. You know, that was absolutely insane. But things did not start off well for the Seawolves. Just 2 minutes, 20 seconds in, Josh Newberg scores his first, and there's a couple of power play goals before the 10-minute mark. Kyle Stevens scores both of them. So all of a sudden, it's 3-0. We're not even 10 minutes in. Oh no, it's 4-0 because Crankvist scored. So yeah, 4-0, 9 minutes in. And everybody's going, whoa, what happened? But I got to give Pace credit. He did not pull a Brian Verbeek and yank Travis Ridgen right away. All right, so Mississippi tries a claw back. 17 minutes in, Hugo Koch scores. But then Newberg answers just a few seconds later, and that's Newberg's second of the game and the period. 1854, Connor Lynn scores a power play goal for the Seawolves. And then finally, right at the buzzer, Justin Daly scores for the Bobcats. It's 6-2 at the end of 20 minutes of play. In the second, Newberg decides to go get his Hattie. So does Stevens. So, yeah, they both get their third goal of the night. So after 2, it's 8-2. The third period, we have Joaquin Nielsen. My goodness, this guy's been on fire. He gets his first of the game. Well, I guess it's his only of the game. But, no, I take that back. I'm looking at my notes. He did have 2 in the period. So Nielsen scores. Then we have Daly scoring again. So Daly had 2 on the night. We had Kyle Stevens getting his fourth. Just a few seconds later, literally, Liriakos scores for the Seawolves. So goals are everywhere. Pucks are flying all over the place. Andrei Ivanov scores at 11:32 for the Bobcats. Finally, Vlasov, he scores. He had a goal and 4 assists on the night. And finally closing out the scoring on a power play goal with just a minute left. So Joaquin Nielsen again. So 12-5 is the final. Ridgen stopped 49 shots. Ridgen stopped 49 shots. He had a lot of actions last night. Connor Green stops 42 of 47 for the Bobcats. So, yeah, these two teams split for the weekend, and the crowd in Wytheville goes home happy. The crowd of 903. They saw a very offensively charged game. It was like going back to the early 80s. Mississippi now lost 1 game. They fall to 4-2-1, but that's 12 points, still second in the Continental. Blue Ridge climbs up to 5th in the Continental. They won 1. They're 2-5-1 with 6 points. And you'll see a couple players from this game mentioned in tomorrow's video. All right, then we go to the game that I was at, the Carolina Thunderbirds. Night before, had taken the game in the shootout, and Binghamton exacted revenge this time. It's a 4-2 win for the Binghamton Black Bears. Defense was the story of this game. Now, I know 50 shots on goal for Binghamton. You said, what defense? Carolina plays team defense well. And then it also helps that you have Cavalier in goal. He's definitely one of the best goaltenders in the league. Um, but a lot of those shots from the Black Bears were in the first half of the game. Innocuous shots, tons of shots, but not quality shots. Not until later in the game. So Tucker Firth, minute 9 in, bam, broken play. There's 3 Black Bears on the ice, and Tucker Firth said, I'll shoot in the empty net. So that puts Carolina up. Second period, Gavin Yates ties the game up for the Black Bears on a power play goal at 2:49. And but Kessler Sky, about 5 minutes later or 3 minutes later, um, bad line change by the Black Bears, and Sky takes advantage. Wrists one home. It's 2-1 Carolina. That's the way things would end at the second period. But as the game wore on, Binghamton's defense just took over this game. Jesse Anderson, natural forward, he was the leader on defense. He played an insane game, as did Jacob Schnapp. Now, I know when people say Jacob Schnapp, you think, tough physical guy, scores the occasional big goals. This guy was a beast on defense. And the thing that blew me away was I counted 3 shifts where Schnapp was out there for at least a minute and a half. I mean, the guy was gassed and he kept on going and getting himself in the right position. And I tip my hat to Schnapp because his defensive game was phenomenal last night, as was Jesse Anderson's. Those 2 guys, in my book, were the stars of the game. Just incredible. Third period, Austin Thompson finally risks one home, buys some time, and snaps one home past Cavalier. That's a 5:22. Brendan Stanko banks one in at 15:42 for the lead. And then just to rub a little salt in the wound, Nikita Ivashkin pops a loose puck home into the empty net as Cavalier was pulled. Carolina only managed 8 shots on goal in the final 2 periods. So yeah, this was a really tough defensive game, even though the score and the shot count really doesn't reflect it. So Cavalier stops 46 of 49. Nolan Egbert for the Black Bears, 19 of 21. Nice crowd, 4,100 on hand. Binghamton goes to 6-0-3, 21 points. First in the Empire. Carolina falls to 4-2, 11 points, third in the Continental. So, I am running low on time, so we got to zip through this final game. Motor City comes back. It was 2-0 Port Huron. Port Huron had this game in the bag, and then they got in the penalty trouble again. So Motor City, Port Huron, the second period, Brandon Picard and Brian Parsons score. It's looking like it's all Prowlers. The home crowd's happy. And then Motor City does what they've done almost every game this year. They come back and win. Power play goals by Declan Conway, by Colton, and then finally the game winner, 14:45 in, by Jamie Milan. Game-winning goal, and it is 3-2 in favor of Motor City. Babin and goal stops 41 of 43. Gets in a scrap in the final minute. Lays some blows on. Tynan, first game in the Fed. He played very well. 32 of 35 saved. And good to see him get his debut game in on the Fed. Unfortunately, didn't get the win, but he played well nonetheless. Port Huron, losers of 2 straight. They move to 2-3-1, 6 points, fourth in the Continental. Motor City now winners of 3 in a row, 6-0-2 with 19 points, second in the Empire Division. Yeah, got to get used to that, Motor City in the Empire. So that is the sum up of last night. Tune in tomorrow to Stars and Stats. Thank you for watching. I'm Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash. Thank you so much for your support.